What is a Geometry Dash Iceberg? More specifically, what is an iceberg? Well, simply to put, it's a template where theories and mysteries get placed under scale on this image of an iceberg, and even Geometry Dash has its own secrets. The deeper you go, the more obscure and mysterious the topics get. In this video, we're going to find out how deep will Geometry Dash take us, as even as kid-friendly as this game seems, it might also have a dark side of its own. Before I do so, I'm going to rate my knowledge on the subject based on the progress bar, 100% being fully confident in what I'm referring to, and 0% being that I literally have no idea what I'm saying and I'm honestly just talking out of my ass. This one is pretty easy. One of Geometry Dash's in-game secrets are the vaults, where users are able to input codes onto it and access icons, coins, and even more vaults. One of those codes in particular is Codebreaker. Codebreaker is one of the codes that you put into the vault of secrets. When entering the code, you are giving a set of numbers. By following a set of algorithmic patterns with simple math, you are giving a small line of numbers recorded. Entering this number in afterwards will give you an icon called Uberhaxer, which honestly looks fucking stupid. It's debatably one of the worst icons in the game, am I right? The puzzle for the code got solved pretty quickly, though it didn't take long to figure out the solution. You know what? I don't know. Here's a picture of some dude having issue with coins and joy. Fingerbang is the original title for MDK's song on one of the title levels for Geometry Dash. The level itself was ready to go and was prepared to be out for 2.0. Yeah, Fingerbang was a questionable name for a song. Many theorize that the reason why the name in the main level was changed to Finger Dash in the final version was to avoid confusion for a suggestive terminology, especially when the game was aimed for a young audience, and honestly, that seems to be the case. Honestly, I have no idea what this could possibly mean. I mean, back then, instead of referring online levels as levels, they were referred to as maps instead. This is probably why the map packs is well named map packs. Another thing that this could be referring to is the thing that RobTop made for story mode. I'm not sure if I discussed this 2.2 news before, but around 2 months ago, RobTop revealed a new map for a story mode, possibly for the platform mode. Other than that, I really don't know the definitive meaning behind the map. If anyone can possibly let me know, please tell me in the comments below and I'll heart the few who knows about it. The Just Don't entry is referring to an option in the Geometry Dash menu, all the way to one of the last pages of the option menu. When activated, not only will the attempt text and the level complete text flips upside down, but it also changes the new best messages to other messages that seem sarcastic or humorous. It's supposed to be a little inside joke that was added in from RobTop, as he occasionally memes around on his own community. The chicken is in the oven. This is one of RobTop's inside joke for Geometry Dash. The joke was never revealed exactly for what the joke meant. However, a lot of people speculated that the joke was to be about 2.1. On the other hand, RobTop says that you can find the chicken in 2.2, and he's still hinting about the chicken today, meaning it's most likely going to be explained in 2.2. Other than that, the whole inside joke was made as sort of a little teaser from RobTop to hint at an upcoming update to Geometry Dash. This is one of the more interesting mysteries for Geometry Dash, but it was planned on purpose. Do you guys remember the 2.2 ARG that I covered about a year ago?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Well, think of that, but this is way before the 2.2 ARG, as this was part of the 2.1 ARG.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
Anyways, in Vibrant's Geometry Dash 2.0 awards, at the end of the video, a similar trope happens to the ARG, to where the video glitches out and forms some cryptic stuff. Later on in the 2.0 awards, the Octocube glitch can be seen at the end of the ARG. What does this all lead to, you may ask? Well, after several days of searching and discovering things, this whole ARG leads to a 2.1 vault code. Yet another underwhelming ARG, but hey, I suppose it's the thought that counts. I wasn't really that active with the GD community at the time to realize anything about the whole ARG, but it was a neat ARG nonetheless. Now, I'm not completely sure as to what hidden songs is exactly referring to, but I'm pretty sure this is referencing to the hidden songs hidden in the GD resources files, where you can see that Robert added more songs to the files instead of the usual main songs for the level. In it, you can see songs like Embers, Viking Arena, and Years. All of these songs have in common as they were songs that appeared in the Geometry Dash spin-offs. The reason they were in the game's files for the original Geometry Dash is beyond me, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the iceberg is referring to. Again, not completely sure what the iceberg is referring to in this scenario, but it can mean two things, one of which is the level ID. Levels in Geometry Dash that are uploaded online is stored in level IDs. You can search these IDs up by typing them onto the search bar and getting the level with the ID. However, the first online level that we see doesn't have an ID 1 on it. In fact, the ID says 128. So what happened to the other 127 online levels? On the other hand, this iceberg could also be referring to the song IDs. Custom songs have an ID on them, similar to how the online level system function. The first song uploaded to Newgrounds does have an ID 1, and it's called Chilled 1 by Recoil. This song is just a 5-second loop with some melody accompanied by it. And that's it. Nothing really interesting happening about it, but the upload of the song and how it happened is sort of a mystery. Levolution is a trend that happened around mid 2.1. The movement started by optation and spiraled around the concept that Geometry Dash level standards have become too high and it should be lowered down. The reception of the trend have become controversial, as a lot of the audience thinks that the point of a featured level was to have a level that has high quality. Aside from this, Optation's Levolution level also got rated, which made it seem like the movement was made as a quick way for him to get some quick creator points. The movement quickly became a failure, and many people criticized Optation for the movement, and it didn't last long before the community swept the trend under the rug and moved on from that. Now, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. I have no idea what Geometry Dash combat even is. I tried searching everywhere for what combat is referring to. I cannot find a single thing. My best guess is the platformer action button 2.2 that can be used for combat, I guess, but honestly, that's all I can think of for what this could be. This one is pretty simple. On one of Pewdiepie's meme reviews, he covered the popular Nepesta meme where he talked about the Kano's reaction from Nepesta. In the review, he labeled Geometry Dash many things, the impossible game and a square game. So people afterwards made jokes about PewDiePie mislabeling GD as the impossible game and square game. Nothing afterwards was made after all. All that Rato did was made a tweet later on poking fun of the inside joke. If you've seen my 2.2 ARG video, this should be a no-brainer to explain. The dash geometry text is one of the codes that was in the 2.2 ARG as a reward. It's soon going to be set as one of the vault codes of 2.2, an anticipated update to Geometry Dash. This one is similar to the Octocube entry, as Octocube is also a vault code that was based off of an ARG. If you want to know more about this ARG in particular, I suggest looking at my video about it, but other than that, that's all I can say to this one really. So, not sure completely as to what happened here, but I have a small explanation on this one. When Kermel was building Black Blizzard, which is an anticipated level that was waited for years ago, Kermel didn't want any given attention to Creo, as it would ruin the suspense of the project. Loads of unfortunate events happened that was caused by the community from Level, including leaking levels, people making montages of said leak level, and other shenanigans. Reasonably so, this made Kermel's life a lot more difficult, as he had to take down every single montage clips on YouTube for his own sake and other various things. He also made it so that anyone who leaks the song name of the upcoming level would get ultimately banned. So, curious people being curious, everyone started wondering what this song name is. Honestly, this is one of the more misfortunate things that occurred to Kermel, as he couldn't handle this huge of an audience that he had. I really hope that no other projects like these would get people harassing creators and artists, because this is not what the GD community should be all about, and I'm pretty sure everyone had learned their lesson by now. Huzzah! Another entry that I have no idea what this one could be. Oh, not exactly. I mean, Geometry Dash does have a few fan-made forums, some of them having GD moderators back then joining along in the forum threads, but that's about it. What is not on the forums is beyond me, but again, I'll leave this one to the comment section since I don't know this one. Try looking for answers online, contacting several of my YouTube mates, and they do not know what it could be referring to, so yeah. That leads me to you guys. I'll try to heart whoever has the closest connection to this entry, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So whenever I do level requests a lot, sometimes I get stumbled onto recent levels that are hacked or modded. These hacked or modded recent levels simply kick you out of the game or just straight up crash your game. Both have one thing in common though, they are both unplayable. No matter how good your PC or device is, it's definitely not gonna let you play. I recently came across one of these recent levels that kicks you out of the level, and I used the copy hack to see how it was made. Surprisingly, even though there's nothing displayed on screen, I noticed that it had a few thousand objects. I tried selecting all, but weirdly enough, nothing appeared. These were experiences that I have made, but let me know what type of experiences you guys have with these unplayable levels. It should be very obvious to what Tartarus and the Golden is. Tartarus is a level by Riot that held as a contest as to who beat it first. It was a tough call, but eventually Dolphy ended up winning the race and verified the level under his name. The Golden was a mega collab level by Bo and was verified by Nswish. The level was intended to be a remake of El Dorado, and its purpose was to surpass Tartarus in terms of difficulty. It was later nerfed by Nswitch because of Bo, but a lot of people were still talking about this one discussion. Is the Golden still harder than Tartarus? The demon list for a while switched Tartarus and Golden back and forth, which caused a lot of debate still to this day on whether or not the Golden should be number 1 on the demon list or not. Some say that the Golden is more difficult, but as it stands out, Tartarus is currently number 1 on the demon list, just waiting for newer upcoming extremes to top out the number 1 spot. A while ago in early 2020, RobTop suddenly gave the decision to delete levels that have considered inappropriate words in the title and description of the level. This caused Murder Metal, Zelenox's level, to be deleted from the GD servers. This causes small confusion as to what happened in the level, but no other popular levels got wiped from the purge. Sparky is one of the vault codes that was on the vault. The vault is one of the secret rooms found in the menu for Geometry Dash once you have 10 secret coins. After you input Sparky into the code, you then go to the Vault of Secrets to find the Keymaster and then click on him until he mentions Sparky again, which is somehow a hint to Glove Flub or whatever. Alright, give me a break, I'm really trying here. Anyways, that's all the connections that I have on this one. This could be referring to the Sparky bot. Yeah, no, this is dumb as fuck, let's keep moving on. I'm pretty sure this has to do with a bug around the early days of Geometry Dash. Back then, there was a bug where you were able to add in multiple secret coins onto your level, and it usually saved your stats with those coins. However, that quickly changed as later on it got patched. Most likely from its newer updates, but who knows. A lot of people claim that these glitch videos were faked or edited, however it's probably a real occurrence that happened since it happened to not just one. Nevertheless, it is definitely a weird find within the Geometry Dash community. Cyclic is an extremely well-known Geometry Dash player back in the 1.9 days who competed heavily against Riot, who was also well-known for completing demons such as Cataclysm, Ice Carbon Diablo X, a level that was used to be considered impossible, and many more. Cyclic was always on Riot's tail, getting closer and closer to conquering him. Back then there was two sides, you either had to be on Riot's side or Cyclic's side. It was that intense of a battle. Riot later went on to creating Bloodbath, a level that is considered the most popular level in Geometry Dash and served for the test of time, while Cyclic makes Sonic Wave, a 9 circles level that definitely focused on its difficulty. Sometime though, Cyclic later confessed to hacking in Geometry Dash, which shook a lot of the people in the Geometry Dash community. This let Riot take the biggest W in his GD career and let him carry on. Riot and Cyclic are still friends, but nonetheless, it was one great story to remember in Geometry Dash history. Fusion C is an anticipated mega collab by Mannix, and it was meant to be part of the final installment level for the Fusion series. The verifier for the level was set to Diamond Splash, and his highest record for the level was all the way to 46% until Mannix decided to quit on the project. This caused a whole chain of drama and argument, mainly due to the fact that many creators had already poured in time and effort into building the level, and it shouldn't be discontinued. This later led on to a 1.9 remake under the same name by Pleb Kingdom, this time having the verifier to be Luigi BT. This also led to Nobleboy creating Molten Gear, a 2.1 extreme demon that was made because he didn't want Fusion Z to die. It's honestly fascinating how one anticipated level can lead over to multiple anticipated levels. Nobleboy's level even got nominated Best Boss Fight on the GD Awards 2020. Well, the title of the entry says it all. Anims is a stick figure animator with over 100k subs. 2 years ago, he made a fan-made Geometry Dash game called Geometry Dash Genesis. Geometry Dash Genesis is pretty much Geometry Dash, but it lets you control the cube back and forth and lets you traverse to the level as a platformer. Yeah, seems like something familiar. Yeah, as it turns out, Anims sort of predicted platformer mode, as his fan game was made before the platform mode was even announced. Was this all a coincidence? Maybe, I don't know. This is the shocker of many, even myself, and some say that his fan game even inspired Robside to create his platform mode, which could be a possibility. But yeah, who knows how many other people will accurately predict other game modes. On January 2019, Nobleboy would go on to verify God Eater, an extreme demon that was yet anticipated for a very long time. It was also extremely object heavy and unoptimized, meaning most players weren't able to open up the level without it crashing. The levels also sprinkled in a lot of Terraria and God Eater references. 5 months later, the videos that Nobleboy made about the level and the level itself were removed in its entirely, causing a lot of confusion within the community. Many speculations say that the reason why it was removed because of the song being copyrighted and taken down, or some say because of the Guitar Hero Styles' 91% fail, which almost gave him a heart attack. However, months later, he gave out a new video addressing what happened behind the scenes and what's going to happen later on. He'd explained that he got a cease and desist from the original owners of God Eater, Ufotable. This made him quickly remove the videos and had asked Rotter to silently delete the level off the servers, as he was afraid to break copyright law. He then planned to redecorate the level and name it under Astral Divinity. And it seems like now he is safe from copyright. Luckily, Nobleboy got away with only a warning. This taught the GD community to never make levels off of copyrighted material and how it can lead to dire situations. I don't even know what this could be referring to at all, and I tried asking numerous people about it and searching up online and no results pop up. It's probably a misspelling of Diligence, I don't fucking know. Killbot is a 2.1 extreme demon created by Lithifusion and verified by Chillstep, and is heavily based off of memory. It wasn't rated for a long time until a month later. The song used in Killbot that was used to be for the level was deleted and taken down, and Lithifusion had to pick out a new replacement song. Lithifusion chose Sweet Dreams by Ruckus to be his replacement song. On November 2018, a user by the name of Dragon Nexus uploaded the original song over on Newgrounds, and it became Killbot's official song. It took a month after, but the song was taken down by Newground moderators, thus switching it back to Sweet Dreams as the replacement song. This is honestly the best that I can describe for the entry. Not sure what mystery the Killbot ID has, but just for the sake of the entry, this is the current idea of Sweet Dreams by Ruckus, Killbot's replacement song. Ever since 2.2 has been Geometry Dash's most anticipated, a lot of people wondered what will happen to Geometry Dash after 2.2. Rawtop gave out some news regarding what features could be planned in 2.3. Some of these news regarding 2.3 includes a custom art system so that people can draw in game and make custom art, Discord rich presences in 2.3, and community requested features. Aside from some of these things, we don't really get much on 2.3, but this does mean that Rawtop is still going to be working on Geometry Dash after 2.2. Which is always great to see. Okay, so viewer discretion is advised. Some things that I'll be explaining here will get pretty wild, so if you're not comfortable with pedophilia, skip to this timestamp here. So, anyways, Crazen is a Geometry Dash player who had levels verified and rated such as Caloretta and Calculator Core, amassing over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. However, that all changed on October 2020 struck. Ellen, a 13-year-old Twitter user, made a thread and a tweet longer where she, I'm assuming she because Crazen uses female pronouns, explains her personal experiences with Crazen on Discord. The relationship with Crazen had a huge age gap between 17 and 13, which is a 4-year age gap. Crazen knew about her age, and yet, provided within the DMs, he is still persistent in grooming her. These eerie and creepy messages left a huge impact within the Geometry Dash community and was left with disappointment, as people like Aaron and even Riot came out forth to say a message about it. This was just the tip of the iceberg, no pun intended. I was also involved in another case of Crazen grooming a minor, as I was one of the people in a particular group chat. Breakson claimed that Crazen used an alt account to groom her. Keep in mind, Breakson, whom I didn't know her age at the time, was 12. Alan, the victim that exposed Crazen, had private messaged me on Twitter to see if I can talk to her on Discord. Turns out that Crazen's email was associated with the supposed alt account. If you want to see my tweet longer about it, you can check out my Twitter post about it. I'll leave down a link in the description to it, by the way. Crazen uploaded a tweet longer, apologizing and admitting to the accusations made against him. The tweet longer also apologized to Alan for what he did. After that, Alan posted updates about the aftermath of the situation. She demonstrated the manipulation that Crazen goes through in order to shut down the exposal tweet. This shows that he's most likely never going to learn his lesson, and he's not really going to own up to it properly. Crazen also seemed hypocritical as he shuts down in some cases, even tried canceling out some people in GD Twitter. Hell, River even tried exposing Crazen for the same reason that I made before Crazen denied and used this platform to shut down the tweet. And that's pretty much the whole Crazen situation. Rest be assured, he is most likely never going back to the GD community ever again. Axtekk is a Korean player and had a good reputation for being Geometry Dash's earliest player, and conquering demons back in the day from left to right, and making him one of, if not the earliest, star grinder. He was a well-known figure, and he stood on the grounds of the GD leaderboards as the best player until the whole Riot versus Cyclic thing happened. That is, until he remained inactive for a while. A lot of people tend to reasonably worry about where he was headed at, and if he was ever gone. Unfortunately, the last thing we've heard from him was a tweet. This is his final tweet. Okay, this is my last tweet. Goodbye, guys. Sorry, but I have a virus on my body. My last day was incredible, and it's about end. This isn't a joke. This back then worried the GD community, as it seemed like Axtekk was dead, and it did seem like that, as he didn't give us any sign of him coming back. Some say it was a flu virus, but some say it was fake, for attention, but regardless or not, this got the GD community worried. It took him 5 years later, but he finally came back to Twitter, deleting all of his tweets, and generally just starting anew. Also, some Spanish guy is posing himself as Axtekk. Yeah, let's not talk about that. So yeah, we can assume that Axtekk is still alive to this day, and either people forgot about him or generally stopped worrying about him. If you want to see more info about Axtekk, my friend ER Ender will be making a video about him soon, so I will leave off with a link to his channel in the description below. But besides that, I'm glad that this ended off on a positive note. Anaban, also known as XXOT1XX, is a Geometry Dash player that started in 2014, but emerged more in 2016 as he drawn controversy for many things. The first things he was infamous for was for threatening people on hacking GD accounts, like Guitar Hero Styles. He was also infamous for hacking onto levels, most popular example being Bloodbath. Usually he give off messages like hacked by Anaban or Anaban is back. Needless to say, he was seen more as an annoyance to the GD community rather than a threat in the game. There has also been a possibility that he had used his own scripts or applications to hack into GD accounts and levels. The motivations for the actions are quite unknown, but we haven't heard much from him since years, so I'm sure he won't be coming back anytime soon. Battle of the Shades was a rated demon that was made by a GD creator known as GD Virus, who is notorious for not accepting criticism. He would usually insult people for critiquing negatively on his works. The first version of the level was honestly not bad back then, but it also had a secret way. It was an interesting monochromatic easy demon, but wasn't too bad and had some interesting ideas for designs. The hate would go on to end so much that he would split versions of the level into phases. The first version of the level was the first phase. Later on, he made the second phase as a way to vent out his frustrations onto the GD community. And let's just say, yeah, it was pretty interesting to say the least. After the level got uploaded, tons of more controversy hit on the creator, as the creator didn't really use criticism as a means to improve himself, but more or less as a means of negative feedback in his eyes. Later on, he would then upload the third phase. The third phase was a less decorated level with minimum effort built onto the decoration and focused more on the gameplay aspects. C1997, who was known back then as the biggest GD commentator at the time, made a video addressing the level in a negative light, which caused a massive wave of hate trains that flooded the level. Virus will go out and host a contest to see who would make the best Battle of the Shades level, and the winner's level will be chosen as the fourth phase. This winner ended up being Real Vet. Soon after, the level got updated to include an extended intro with a fake secret way. Funnily enough, you can actually bypass the fake secret way, making it an actual secret way. This actually caused the level to be unrated by RobTop. After that, the level is now finally updated into a text that just reads, "Don't let the darkness win." This is honestly quite the interesting story, and it shows that people need to own up to criticism online, especially when it's made publicly and to view it as a way to improve. VLC is a level made by Bo that seemed to be one of, if not the hardest challenge level in Geometry Dash. Since the challenge level also included high quality decoration, people wanted it to be decorated. The level unfortunately was not decorated because it was too short, and Bo had confessed into hacking the challenge. People in the Geometry Dash community wanted the level to be extended up to at least a minute so it can be rated. Some people even decided to make their own fan-made extensions of the level to get Bo to verify it. However, it seems like the level isn't going anywhere, as he haven't gotten much from Bo's confirmation whether or not the level would be extended or not. I'm not sure what this is alluding to, what I'm about to talk about, but I feel like this was referring to the Attempt 0 level. Attempt 0 is a level made by Dimension 5, which had a version of Stereo Madness, only to be corrupted and distorted with effects in many ways, seeming to be corrupted by a spooky ghost. Oh no! The songs to be used were also consisting of glitchy noises, loud beeps, and such. This level also gives us the perfect vibe to things like crashes and corruptions that would give to Geometry Dash. In a way, this also reminds me of one of those recent fake anti-piracy measure clips found online, where it displays glitches text and brings you to a somewhat eerie menu. I don't know, in a way it kind of shows a resemblance, and I kind of dig this level for having some crazy effects for glitches and corruptions. It has been said that every copy of Geometry Dash is personalized, and to some extent. This might be either something minuscule, like the change of some icons, or even the account that you just created now, but to some, lies a way creepier layer beneath Geometry Dash. That is so fucking dumb. So basically there was this creepy meme trend thing going on in the Super Mario 64 community, as they showed old clips of their Super Mario 64 gameplay that seemed haunted by something. This is better known as every copy of Mario 64 is personalized, and till this point it's so redundant and overused that it honestly feels like a laughing stock now. And that's basically everything explained on the GD Iceberg. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. I also want to thank Ender, Floroni, and Metmart for helping me research with today's video. Hopefully that sums up at least most of what the Iceberg has to offer. Again, if you know more about the entries that I have missed, you can always let me know in the comments below. And if you do enjoy this video, please share it with your friends and family, and by liking the video, as that always helps me out. And as always, I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.